Hey, welcome to the Delanium show. Today we're talking about Super Metroid. Oh, my bad. I'm an old timer. Forgive me. Brain fart. I meant to say Metroid Prime 4. I'm a little bit late for this subject, but anyways, I was waiting for me to get my new mic, starting my new channel, so I need proper equipment, right? Let's talk about it. I want to watch the trailers and the previews, the treehouse with you guys, and we'll talk about Metroid Prime 4 and beyond. And here we go. Action. Action.
This is the unknown planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center.
Alright, so far, the intro looks really good. I love the music. I love the sounds of the Metroids. You know, they always know how to create this beautiful ambient environmental sounds. Right, like that sounded like Dragon Ball Z for a sec. Like, kind of remind me of the hyperbolic time chamber where Goku and Gohan will train to go defeat Cell. But the sounds incredible, and they even have like a little bit of the old school nostalgic sounds from the Super Metroid games, even like when Samus just teleported. Right, you hear that.
In order to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward. She's not alone, though. Abhorrent, alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike. As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities. These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and to open doors. They also allow her to control the trajectory of her beams with the power of her mind.
Wow, that's cool. So she became a Terran Ghost from StarCraft, Psionic Energy, or Protoss Templar. That's some cool, man. Some cool stuff. They're mixing some Bioshock with it, like very innovative. I like it.
But why were these powers bestowed upon Samus?
Speaking of StarCraft, that looked like a copy of StarCraft right there with the Protoss language. And Toro Adun Tori does. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Copy. Bite.
And what will be her fate after being summoned to Vuros? The threads intertwining beyond space and time are beginning to weave a new tale.
This looks amazing. Adun Tori does. teleported like a... She teleported like a Terminator. Anyways, that looked dope. If there's any game that's probably worth $90, this will be it. Even though it will be very pricey to pay to play, right? But Nintendo knows how to ace it when it comes to Metroids. They are mavericks in that, you know? But anywho, let's watch the Metroid Prime 4 Treehouse. I want to see more in depth of the gameplay. Here we go.
Hi everyone. For those that are just tuning in, this is Nintendo Treehouse Live, Nintendo Switch 2.
That's right.
This is a first-person adventure game starring our favorite protagonist, Samus. She is a very famous bounty hunter, for those of you that don't know. But I'm going to throw it away to Demetrius to lead us through this.
No,
For your information, back in the olden days, the only way you'll find out that Samus is a girl is by collecting 100% items and power-ups and the Super Metroid game, which is something I did because I love that game so much. I will say Super Metroid is probably one of the best games of all times. For that time, the mechanics, the action pack, the upgrades, it was out of its time. You know what I mean? There's many ways how to beat that game too, by the way. If you watch speedruns, you'll see like the pros doing weird shortcuts that you'll never think of. Super Metroid was the bomb. Samus is a chick, not a dude.
You got that. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the beginning. So it is the Cosmic Gear 20X. No, I'm not going to
It's story time. Come on.
Long story short, we're starting at the beginning here. What you're going to see is that this is a research facility for the Galactic Federation. It's being attacked by space pirates.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. By the way, this intro, it's very similar to Super Metroid's intro. Very similar. Space pirates invading a colony. You have to go rescue them from a stress signal.
Answering their call, and this is what's pretty much going to be the beginning of the game.
And those are space pirates that are allied with Psylocke, who we haven't seen a whole lot of. We saw him in Metroid Prime Hunters. We're not quite sure what the bad blood here is about between Psylocke and the Galactic Federation.
He doesn't like him, nor does not like Samus. So
Yeah, he's got a deep grudge for Samus.
So getting to that, here's the first cutscene. So I won't talk too much over this. I'll let people kind of...
Man, I love how they remixed the intro. The music. Like, all the old school guys will have, like, an orgasm, like myself, right? With the nostalgic flashbacks. Thank you, Nintendo. You guys are good at that. That's why we're all going to be suckers and pay $90 for this. I can see how we're going to fall for the trap.
Enjoy it. I can feel the table rumbling. I really like one of those ships, though.
That is a beautiful ship. There's a big battle happening right now. Samus,
Quick work with some of these ships.
yeah, join in on it.
Piece of cake.
That's Samus's contribution to the air.
I love, like, Episode 3 in Star Wars, the way the intro started. I don't know if you guys remember Star Wars Episode 3 where Anakin and Obi-Wan enter the battle, space battle in the beginning of the movie, but that's what it reminded me of.
Air fry.
Still looks good. Good cinematic.
There's a lot of action going on the grounds.
Looking good for the Galactic
guy.
Federation here.
The Galactic Federation soldiers are trying to put up a fight, but it's not working too well. They need some help. It's pretty cool to see this, though. Oh. All right.
Yeah, Samus to the rescue. Woo!
Okay, we're about to get to gameplay here in just a moment. I love this scene so much. Get ready. Here we go.
So some of you might see this area pretty familiar from the first trailer that we showed for Metroid Prime 4, but now we're going to see a little bit more.
So we're just seeing Samus from the outside, but now we're about to go right behind the visor, and away we go.
All right.
So I'm gonna kind of play a little slower so everybody can kind of just take it all in, but I see a space pirate right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and not let that stand.
We can see that classic Metroid Prime gameplay where you've got, it's first person, you've got your reticle in the middle there, you can use that to lock on to enemies there.
Yeah,
Lock
I'm not
on!
trying to take any hits though. Oh, what you doing still? Oh. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and do this. So one thing people should note, right now I'm playing with a split Joy-Con 2 style, so I have a Joy-Con 2 in my left hand and my right hand. And I'm gonna change that up a little bit, and a little bit further we get into this.
But also you're playing in a mode called Quality Mode, which is in 4K, 60 FPS.
Correct.
So for anybody that is watching the stream, we are streaming at 4K. If you have a 4K TV, you will be able to see all the visuals in its very glorious, pristine, pretty graphics.
Visuals are good, man. I'm not gonna lie. Visuals are superb.
Sensitive artifact. Uploading coordinates now.
So right now there is a sensitive artifact that the Galactic Federation is trying to protect, and that the Space Pirates, led by Silex, is trying to take. So Samus is going to try to recover that and defend, and make sure that the Space Pirates don't take it. Alright, so here's the area map acquired. Gonna go ahead and open it up.
So, just for the record, in Super Metroid, they steal the Metroid that the scientist was containing. It looks like this one here, they're gonna steal an artifact, right? Nothing new. Just for the record.
So here's my current position, and I want to make it all the way here.
To that big dome area.
Yeah.
The map looks
Secure
fire.
the artifact.
The map
Obviously,
looks
it's gonna be
fire.
right here, and then if I go down, I am right here. So I'm going to make my way through.
And that's
That
one of
looks
the cool things
fire.
about this. It's got that, again, classic Metroid Prime gameplay where you've got your map and it's kind of 3D and you can rotate it because like navigation and exploration is a big theme in this game and in the series.
Also different visors, so I just switched to my scan visor and I can scan this door here. It's going to give me access and a little bit additional information here.
It's pretty important too, just like learning more about the lore of this world. So scanning is very important. It's been in the Metroid Prime series as well. So
Yes,
it's a great way to learn.
way to get additional backstory, lore, also just helpful gameplay tips, and even access to certain areas. All right.
Ooh.
Try to protect the some of the people here, but they're getting attacked too much. All right, so I'm gonna play a little faster here. Just go it. I can even scan enemies.
Yeah.
You can get a little additional here. Space Pirate, you can see. Classic. All right, and now they're gonna go away.
They're pretty ruthless. So one of them came at you to shank you.
They had it coming.
Definitely. So anything else to scan? You can even check out here where it came down. So we have a dive
it's the
spike.
landing spikes.
Okay. Things are looking good. I'm gonna make my way through this door here.
And there's some environmental stuff that you could also choose to break too.
Yeah.
You never know what's in the containers.
All right, so here's our first major obstacle. So of course, I can enter into Morph Ball. I can go under small objects.
The action looks amazing. Graphics look amazing. The morph ball look amazing.
Or large objects. You can go into tiny cracks. I want to make my way through here, engage in this big fight.
Now some more space pirates, but we've got
there
a mecha suit.
Okay, so coming up next here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, this is going to be a big battle after this scene. I'm actually going to switch from
God damn!
the controls I was just doing. I'm going to switch to mouse controls by putting the right Joy-Con 2 here on the surface, and I'm going to actually start playing like that.
So you can see Demetrius is locking on to the enemies with the ZL button. But then at the same time, he's using that right Joy-Con to kind of fine-tune his aiming. Like maybe the enemy.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie, that is cool to turn like Metroid into an actual FPS, like a Counter-Strike, with the mouse and stuff. I like that.
These are a little, maybe you have to lead them a little bit, so you have to aim a little bit to one side or the other.
And I'm missing all over the place now. There we go. A little bit of nerves.
Noob.
Come on, there we go.
But it's really cool though that you're able
Noob.
to very seamlessly change between doing dual Joy-Con 2 and then
Yeah,
mouse
you see how
control, so you
quickly I can
choose.
turn to side. Now, if I take my hand and just picked it up off the surface, I'm actually now back to playing in the normal split Joy-Con mode. And I'll once again put my hand back down on the surface. You see that little reticule pop up. You can see how fast I turn.
Yeah, the little tiny one in the middle.
So I'll keep playing like this.
Yeah, so you can just switch that on the fly. All you have to do to activate the mouse controls is just put the mouse, put the Joy-Con 2 flat on a surface.
Yeah.
Correct.
I guess that'll work on my butt. It's the flattest thing I know.
This guy, I think he's pretty low on health, so it'll tell me even in my visor. Yep, Eternal, 70%.
Here, finish him off. All right.
Oh, that's cool.
All right,
Well, that's one of the cool
Collateral.
things too with the scanning is that some scans you need to do to advance in the story or activate certain mechanisms, but you can kind of decide how deep you want to go into the lore and like figuring out all the explanations of every element that you see in the game.
Man, just look at the details on the Murph ball. Like, I always loved how Metroid, they made the Murph balls, right? How you go into tubes and pipes. I always been fascinated with that since I was a kid. But this is incredible graphics, incredible action, details.
See, this space is getting swarmed
Yeah, they're
with space pirates.
coming in real fast.
They're trying to blow the door here. I'm gonna make my way to them as fast as possible. Go past that room.
Good old little bombs.
Okay, there we go.
So there's the scientist moving back there with the artifact.
The artifact back there.
Yep.
Putting up a pretty good fight. Coming up is going to be my first collectible here. It's going to be my energy tank. I'm going to require that. Okay, looks good.
Ooh,
All
upgrade.
You can
right.
see that at the top of the screen, the 99 there, that's Samus's health, so adding another energy tank adds an additional set of 99 little energy units.
Yeah, that's a good point. So looking at the screen right now, at the top left, we'll have the tracking meter for all of the enemies. On the top right, you'll have the mini-map. On the bottom right, you have your missiles. The total that you can hold is at the bottom. The total that you have in your inventory is at the top.
missiles!
And then on the bottom left is all of your weapons. And right now, all we have are missiles.
So here we're just
Fire the missile.
identifying some unknown materials. If I go over here, I can scan this, scan that.
Scan everything.
Yeah. So to the
Everything.
left is the artifact. That's what you're seeing here. It's the marked. Okay.
For $90, I better scan everything, damn right. I gotta make my money's worth.
And we can even just scan some more things here.
I want all the lore.
Terminal. I know.
Scan everything.
I
man.
know. There's so much. I could even say, oh, let's not scan the door yet. Let's scan these guys. Let's get a little bit of additional information about the Galactic Federation troopers. So we got that. All right. So here's another good example of how the control methods work. So right now I'm going to switch back to the normal split styles you see here in my hands. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the visor. I'm going to scan this door. And this is a Federation lock-on gate, so it uses a lock-on ability that's a little bit special here. So what I'm going to do is switch back to my combat visor, hold ZL to lock on, and now I can use the right thumbstick or a little bit of motion sensor here, and I can kind of aim, and you see it's a little slow here. That's one way to do it, and now I'm going to try switching over to the mouse control.
Opening that door looked annoying. I hope they don't have a bunch of these doors. Like, for me, it's bad enough you gotta shoot the door to open it. Like, why not just open it automatically when I, like motion sensors, I approach the door, it opens, right?
Here, and I'm going to do the same thing with this door.
So while Dee's doing that, just wanted to mention again, for those of you that are just tuning in, we are streaming in 4K. So we are playing the game in quality mode, which supports 4K to 60 frames per second.
Correct.
There will be another mode, which is called performance mode, which will run at 120 frames per second at 1080p.
So you can kind of choose for yourself if you want to focus on the resolution and that image quality or the performance and like the high frame rate.
Smooth, buttery frame.
Yeah.
All right, so here's our first boss, Avarax. And you're going to see something that is going to be unique that we haven't really seen before.
Oh no!
Watch out, it's a Metroid!
Oh.
But unlike normally a Metroid, normally defeating an enemy right there on spot, this one is actually fusing or combining with this enemy, powering it up.
That is interesting. I don't think we've seen before Metro, or it's fusing with other beings.
So it's fascinating.
I think you got your work cut out for you here to me.
Yeah.
No pressure, all the
Just
pressure.
grew a 4-pack.
All right, so I'm gonna lock on a little bit here, just get my bearings. So what we're seeing here is there's gonna be a couple of weak spots. Ow, I jumped way too slow there. No, I'm not gonna let him shoot this. I want to destroy the weak points. There's gonna be multiple. Oh, you just want to throw them at me, don't you?
So the weak points are those little green areas, but the Abrax can shield it with his arms,
Yeah,
but
it goes in like a
can
box.
also put this kind of yellow shield over those areas as well, so you have to bide your time before you're able to shoot it.
It kind of shifts from one to the other. Like he's never going to have all of those weak points exposed in this.
Oh, how am I missing? All right,
I'm gonna see you guys like 5 minutes.
gonna be very
Hug.
Boss, the boss looks amazing.
Throw an
easier.
Abrax.
There we go.
This
There's my shot. Lock.
Did it. It's tough.
That's a tough boss battle.
Yeah.
You really have to gauge where to aim, and you can see it was all about kind of, you know.
There we go again. The old school ambient sounds. That's like the item room from the Super Metroid, just with a little remix touch to it. But anyways, that boss fight took like almost 10 minutes. Thank God I fast forwarded. That's supposed to be a mini boss, I believe, not a big boss. It still looks amazing. This game looks amazing.
Finely tuned aiming there, which is a lot of fun.
Now artifact safe.
Ooh, there's the man himself.
Now?
And there's Silex. You know,
Yeah.
he has 2 Metroid with him, which is also very curious.
It's like Shredder from Ninja Turtles, the main bad guy.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll find out more about this interesting alliance.
You can see the battles going on back and forth.
Ooh, straight for
artifact.
the artifact.
You best not miss what come up for Samus. So you can see the artifact now was hit, and it caused it to react to that in a very peculiar way. And that, folks, is a
Where
quick
we'll
look.
end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to give you a sneak peek. We don't want to ruin the full surprise.
The full surprise is after you pay a lot of money. But anyways, this game looks dope. I'm willing to pay a lot of money for it. But it is what it is. That's how Nintendo grinds. This game is dope. I can see it. The graphics, the quality. Yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Metroid Prime 4. Is it worth every penny? It looks like it is. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. It's overcharged, I know. Am I buying this game? Hell yeah, I will buy it. And we'll play it together. Talk about it. We'll, complain about it. You know what I mean? We'll travel through the journey together by playing Metroid Prime 4. Anyways, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys around. Cheers.